What has 12 wheels, 8 tires, and 4 dual stage foams? I don't know. I'm not a numbers guy, but I'm going to try to take as much of that stuff as possible and slap it on that capper back there.
Welcome to CK4RC.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna work on this Capra for a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. I've got the Fury Tech USA shirt on right now. There's a reason for that instead of my tried and true classic only RCs merch, because this is specifically on my bench right now for Beat the Creek coming up. I will be working the Fury Tech USA booth at Beat the Creek this year, just like I did at Axial Fest Badlands last year. And as such, I need something bigger than a 124 scale. And the UTB 18/UTB 14 is the biggest rig I have. That's what I'm going to take. But right now, it's pretty much stock. I slapped some weight on it before Axial Fest Badlands last year with some good old Mofo RC brass. But other than that, this baby's running stock for now. While I was at Badlands last year, I did pick up the good old Fury Tech UTB 18 brushless system. So I got the Komodo 118. I've got the Python UTB 18. So we're going to hook all that stuff up. We're going to switch over to brushless on that thing. Got some good old steel drive shafts, because if you're going brushless, you might as well upgrade those drive shafts as well. Got some new panels over here, some new clear Lexan panels. I'm going to paint these up. I'm going to go with the black and blue theme, color scheme. Did I just turn into Eminem? I was rapping some mad rhymes right there. What? What did I just say? Anyway, so got some custom colorage coming. You know what I mean? So got that. Now here's where the math stops mathing. Oh yeah, and I've got the radio link receiver because I'm going to hook it up to my RC4GS back here. That's going to be kind of my go-to transmitter. Mount Olympus RC transmitter. That's just a little inside jab, just poking the bear a little bit. That's cool. So this is where the math stops mathing. That's what the kids are saying these days. I did get these Injora tires. I don't remember what brand the wheels are, but I got these a while back for this build. And then check out these wheels though. Good looking wheels, right? Man, these wheels would look real good on here, right? Come on. Look at that. That looks good. So I got them. And then, yeah, the good old Injora. It's a S3 compound because we're talking about a 1.55 tire. So their compounds are a little bit more limited than the 1.0s. But still S3 compound, still pretty good squeak, pretty good stick to it. But yeah, we're looking at the 1.55 inch Kraken claws from Injora. And this is what I was going to go with. And then I started doing a little bit more research after I ended up with these. First of all, there's not a whole lot on the market for 1.55, by the way. But what I found out was that these are really hit or miss depending on the terrain. So I kept looking for 1.55s because I don't want to go up to 1.9s or 2.2s. I've seen some bigger wheels and tires on this thing. And while this is wildly oversized for 18 scale, going up to 10 scale wheels and tires is too much. So I do want to stick with the 1.55. So that's my goal. That's what I'm going to do. So I did find some good old Pro Line tires. I haven't even opened them yet, but we're talking about some good old Super Swampers. The good old classic Super Swamper tread. If I can turn them the right way, you can see, yeah, you can't beat that. You just can't beat that. So, and there's foams in there, but they're stock foams. Nobody likes messing with stock foams. So I did get a full set of dual stage foams from Crawler Innovations. I didn't really know anything about this, but my buddy over there at Forever Young RC chimed in, and he's familiar with them and said that they're actually really good. I had some questions because they seem really soft, which, cool, you know, foam tire inserts, you want them to be soft. But I'm not familiar with this size. 1.0, that's my wheelhouse. Pun is totally intended. But look at the stiffer foam in there. Look how much narrower it is, with the soft foam sticking way out beyond it. And that was just, it seemed odd to me. But my buddy over there at Forever Young RC, go check out his channel. He puts out some really cool stuff too. He swore by these, so that helps me feel a lot more at ease. for picking those up. And then because I got new wheels and tires, or because I got new tires and inserts, and these wheels are already mounted, I might just keep them mounted and just not use them. And then I saw these wheels, and these look okay. If I can not get some glare. Not bad looking, right? Just silver and black. That's a pretty good look. And then, of course, when I saw these, I had to get them. The good old black and blue. If I can not get the... There you go. Look at that. Now, that is going to look real good on here. Especially when I get the black and blue paint scheme on the new body panels over here. So I have a couple ideas with how I want to do that, but this is going to be what I'm going to build up the Capra with this stuff. That's going to be my project leading into Beat the Creek. And then that way I'll have something a little bit bigger than a 24 or an 18 scale whenever I'm down there. So hopefully I can maybe use this thing to try to beat the barn. We'll see what happens. I'm really looking forward to it. So, never been down to Beat the Creek. This will be my first year. I will be working the booth, so I won't have a whole lot of opportunity to get out and about and drive and play. But I'm hoping for maybe just a little bit of downtime and just see if I can beat the barn. We'll see what happens. So, if you're down there, listen, a lot of people are going to be down there to Beat the Creek, man. Everybody goes down to Beat the Creek. Stop by the Fury Tech USA booth. Say hey. There's going to be me. There's going to be Ken Pilcher from the Shop Mini RC. Potentially some other YouTubers as well that you guys will all recognize. And they're a lot smarter with all this stuff than I am. I'm just some clown that they're letting tag along. And I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. So let me get some work done on this, and we'll come back in a little bit and see what kind of progress I'm making. And then, yeah, we'll just get ready for Beat the Creek. That's what we'll do. So hang in there. I'll be back. It's going to be like that for you. It's going to be a little bit longer than that for me. Here we go. So before I run off and get too far ahead on this build, I'm just going to fill you guys in with what the plan is a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So first of all, I want to talk about these tire inserts real quick, because what I found out was, yes, the foams were wider than the dual stage insert. You got to cut these things, and I just didn't know. This 1.55, this is new to me. So I'm going to trim this up. But these foams that came with the dual stages, these are really soft, versus the stiffer ones that came with the Proline tires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the stiffer tires with the dual stage foam. I've already got that in there for the rear. And then I'm going to cut a couple of these down widthwise for the front, and then use the dual stage foam in these as well. So offset the stiffness of the foam a little bit and try to make that work the best I can. And then I've got some work to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just put these screws in here and finish these wheels. It's a lot of tiny little screws. 2 sets of these I've got to do. So I'm going to do a little bit of a test, a race against myself, if you will, on the wheels. Nope. Do a little bit by hand. And for the most part, I'm probably just going to use the good old electric driver here for quite a bit. Just to save my sanity and a lot of time as well. So I'm going to work on that. And then just a heads up on the paint scheme. So I do have clear Lexan panels that are just identical. They're just stock replacement panels, but they're clear, so I can paint them the way I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the panels blue. And if I can get the right glare, there are side scoops on these. So I'm going to paint the side scoops black. And I'll probably still use this little decal right here, the little side scoop decal. And then for the hood, it's got like this little hood scoop right here. I'm going to paint the hood scoop black, and the rest of the hood will be blue. And then the roof is on fire. It's not on fire, but I'm going to paint that blue as well. And it does have like this little like kind of air intake thing, but it's not cut out or anything. So I doubt I'm going to go black and blue on top. I'll probably just go all blue up top. And then decorate it with some good old branding, some good old decals from the CK4RC and from Proline and from Crawler Innovations. Because you got to get the branding in there, you know? And Mofo. I can't leave out the Mofo brass that I've got on there, so I'll slap some Mofo stickers on there too. So that is the overall plan as far as the aesthetics and my next steps. So while I'm out doing my business and you guys are waiting 2.3 seconds for me to come back with the next stage. That's what I'll be doing. So I'm going to go get on that, and I'll be back like that. So after what took, I mean, let's be honest, way too long, I'm back. And we've got wheels put together. Look at these. Looks pretty good. Look at these. Looks even better. Oh man, that black and blue is just a good combo. And if you, I'm just going to say this right now, if you do not have an electric driver, what are you even doing with your life? So here is the difference between the hand screwed wheel versus the electric screwed wheel. Knocked off about 20 seconds per wheel. And when I did 2 sets of wheels, that's like, what, like, I don't know, a few minutes of my life that I can use taping off body panels. So here you can start to see what my paint scheme is going to look like. No, it's not blue tape for strategic reasons. It's just blue painter's tape. I'm going to be painting, so why not use painter's tape? So the panel is going to be blue, and where the tape is, it's actually going to be black. So it'll be like a black hood scoop on there. So I think that'll look pretty cool. Side panels, because it's got these built-in side scoops, I'm going to leave the scoop black with the blue body panel around it. I think that should look pretty good. Yeah. And then this one I was going back and forth on. The roof has this scoop right here. And I was thinking about the roof just doing all blue. But yeah, why not? We'll go ahead and we'll do black and blue on the roof as well. We're doing all the other body lines this way, so just for consistency's sake, we'll go ahead and we'll do this blue with a black scoop on top as well. So now that I've got this done, I'm going to start on the electronics and the paint whenever it decides to stop raining, because it's been raining for about 40 days and 40 nights where I am right now, I swear. So I'm going to do all this stuff, and the next time you see this thing over here, it will look like a different vehicle. So stay right where you are, because it's going to be no time for you. It's probably going to be a couple days for me, but here we go. So I'm back outside in the paint booth. I got my paint and I've got parts, and I'm going to see if I can learn from last time I painted a little bit and redeem myself. So let's see what happens. Got the panels out here taped off and ready to go. So I'm going to do some light coats and let's see what happens. Coat 1, down. Quick update before the big reveal. Good news, I got this thing torn apart and stripped out. Bad news, the FuryTech motor does not come with a pinion gear right there that goes on the motor shaft. The idea being that you loosen this pinion and strip it and put it on the replacement motor. The bad news continued is that I stripped out the set screw and I was up a creek and I didn't even have a paddle, you know what I mean? So off to the interwebs I had to go, and luckily I was able to order a replacement pinion for the Komodo 118. So this thing is set. I've got the mesh set. This is good to go to throw in there, get the electronics back up and running. So that is the good news. The bad news is I've been down several days waiting for this thing to come in. I checked Horizon Hobby, I checked Amazon, checked my local hobby stores, and Amazon was the fastest, and it still took several days for it to get here, even with Amazon Prime, which is almost unheard of in this day and age, but that's what happens. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So I will get the electronics put back in here. Look at that. Talk about a belly dragger, you know what I mean? Get the panels finish painted and put back on, and you guys will see the big reveal coming up in about 3, 2, 1, now. I'm back, and I am so excited to say we're done. Look at this thing. Huh? tell me this is not about the best looking UTB 18 you've ever laid your eyes on. I dare you. Can't do it. Not with a straight face, because if you do say it, you're probably just lying. How good did that turn out? Oh, so good. Let me get on the bench, get a nice close-up view of it, and I'll show you some of the detail work. It turned out really good. So first up, I did go to good old black and blue wheels because, man, it just matched the paint scheme so good. Look at that side panel. The paint didn't turn out 100% perfect, but I'm telling you what, I could not be happier with the way that it looks. Man, it just looks good. And I've got my parts suppliers listed on here. We've got Mofo RC with the brass. We've got Crawler Innovations with the tire inserts. I was not able to get a Proline sticker on there. They were way too big. But I've got the axial sticker down here. Right there. Went with the good old side scoop classic vent sticker over there because that, why not, you know? And of course I had to get the CK4RC branding up top on the roof. And yeah, you can see kind of the tape job. Tape job got a little jagged in some spots, but overall, man, I am not going to complain at all. Got the Capra stickers on there just to make sure nobody forgets what it is. And then we've got the CK4RC classic logo sticker right there on the hood scoop. And man, look at this thing. The good old Super Swampers right there. I do have an upgraded servo coming in. It's not here. I'm going to be pushing if it gets here in time or not. And at this point, I'm probably just going to leave the stock one until it burns up. And then I'll replace it with the upgraded servo I've got. But the servo that's coming in, you guessed it, it's blue and some black, and there's some silver on there too. So just going to add to the overall color scheme. And I've got the matching stickers over here on this side panel as well because, you know, it's got to look right. But man, there we go. I do have the Fury Tech innards in there. I've got my Radio Link receiver in there. The lights still work. I wasn't sure how that was going to work out because there's so many lights on this thing. You've got the two in the grill. You've got the rock lights under here. You've got the light bar up top. They all just plugged right into my receiver. They power on whenever I turn the rig on, so I don't even have to worry about that part. Running the wires was a little bit of a trick, but I managed to get that taken care of, and the on-off switch is not even in a terrible spot back here. It's not real good right now because it's sitting on this work stand, but the on-off switch, I've got it tucked. It's spinning around on me. I can't get leverage on the button because it's spinning around, but you can hear the Fury Tech power up. You got the lights just as bright as ever. Love this thing. Turn on my transmitter like you're supposed to do anyway. Look how slow this is. Oh, that's slow control. Look at that. And it's FOC too, so I could just hold this and it would just start climbing. So speaking of which, let me throw a couple things up here and let's just check out this low-end control real quick, shall we? Let's see if I can get a little side hill action with the Wave here, because the UTB 18 is actually a little bit too big to ride the Wave, but it doesn't mean I can't run one side of it. Man, look at the tire squish on there with the super soft foams up front. That is really nice. That is really nice. That low-end control, the FOC, oh man, that Fury Tech system with the FOC technology is just undeniable. It is a thing of beauty to see these systems in operation. Look at that. Super slow crawl. We're going to come up here to this high point right there, and it just handles it. Just handling business. Rear tire just gets up and over. No problem. Didn't have to punch the throttle, not a single time. It is so smooth and so controllable. So there's the low end control. What about the top speed on this thing? I showed how slow it can go, which is really slow. What about top speed? pretty good wheel speed. The drag brake is ferocious. You see it just lock them up. That baby ain't going nowhere. Reverse. Reverse got some good wheel speed as well. Drag brake kicks in nice and quick. What a great system, and what a great looking truck, huh? Leave me a comment down below. Is this not the best looking UTB 18 you've ever seen in your life? It is, that's the answer. So this is the build. This is my project. Project 14 is what I'm calling it, because it's a UTB 18, and we all know that UTB 18 is more like a 14 scale. So Project 14 is what I'm calling this build. I'll have it down at Beta Creek in the FuryTech USA booth. Stop by, check it out, get some pictures, post them up, do all that good stuff. Leave me a comment down below if you're going to be there. Let me know if you're coming. Stop by, say hi, introduce yourself. So we've got that. You may have noticed I got a little something on my workbench back here. I've got a nice little work mat. This came specially from Only RCs. This is not released yet. This is when I hit my next milestone, which would be 5,000 subscribers. We're going to have an exclusive drop on their website. So nice little work mat here. It's got a list of all of my pro tip times, so in case you're looking for cool stuff to try, or just trying to think outside the box a little bit. But this thing looks amazing. So help me get to 5,000. Hit that quadfecta, like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you share that, that'll help us get to 5,000. And then this work mat will be available. So that's just a bonus for sharing it. And then good stuff happens. Whatever. Beat the Creek. I am pumped. I'm ready. I hope you are too. I hope to see you down there. Stop by. I'm going to have stickers. I'm going to have some of my rigs. You can take pictures. We can chat it up for a little bit. I'm going to sell you some FuryTech stuff because it's as good as you're going to get. So come down. Get some good stuff. That's what's going to happen. And then we'll be best friends. How about that? Huh? Anyway, hit the quadfecta. Let me know if you're going to be down there with the comment down below. Like, subscribe, share, help me get the channel out there. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for coming back. Keep doing RC stuff, and I'll see you next time. Big time thank you to my members and channel partners, and if you would like to join the ranks, click on that join button for exclusive content, never before seen videos, early access to videos, and other exclusive content, pictures, polls, and having an active voice in what comes next on the channel. So appreciate the support. Click on that join button, and thank you so much to the channel members.